Solo, Star Wars story, train heist. Alright. Han Solo and Chewbacca were on the run. They had escaped from an Imperial base on the war-torn planet of Mibin, with the help of some smugglers named Beckett, Val, and Rio. The smugglers had snuck on to the base to steal an Imperial AT hauler. They needed the ship for their biggest heist yet, and now Han and Chewie were part of their crew. They had flown the AT hauler to the mysterious Mount Turius planet of Endor. Han and Chewie were relieved to be free from the Empire. They breathed in fresh air as the ship soared over ancient rock formations and the fossils of beasts from long before. But Han and Chewie were unsure about their new crew. Okay. Beckett, the leader of the group, was gruff and standoffish, and Val seemed just as unsure of Han and Chewie as they were of her. But Rio, the ancient Denderum pilot, was friendly and welcomed Han and Chewie with open arms, all four of them. As Rio cooked up a meal for the gang over a campfire, Beckett laid out their plan for the heist. They would be working together to steal a massive load of priceless coaxium from the Imperial train, a convex, that would be passing through the mountains the next morning. Everyone would have a job to do, and everyone would need to do their jobs perfectly for the group to fly off with the precious hyperspace fuel. The next morning, Rio flew the AT hauler low over the convex to drop Beckett, Han, and Chewie on top of the train, while Val planted the detonators on the bridge nearby. Beckett quickly found the train car that contained the coaxium, and the three set to work attaching cables from the AT hauler to the cargo. But before they could attach all the cables, they were interrupted by Imperial range troopers. The soldiers were heavy mechanic boots that allowed them to stay balanced on the train no matter which way it turned on the track. Beckett quickly cabled himself to the train car to steady himself and began battling the troopers. No one was going to stand in the way of his playoff. Or so Beckett hoped. The dangerous warrior, Ify's Nest, suddenly appeared, flanked by a crew of Cloud Rage riders on heavy, modified speeders called swoops. They wanted the coaxium too. Ify's Nest was always getting in the way of Beckett's best-laid plans. A train car full of coaxium was too big a score for Beckett to go down without a fight. He and Ify's battled on top of the train, both trying to attach their own cables to the car to pull it away. But some of Ify's gang members had aborted the AT hauler and attacked Rio. Han stared at a knowing look with Chewie, then climbed back up on board the AT hauler to help the four-armed pilot. Rio hadn't survived the battle with Ify's gang members, and now the AT hauler needed a pilot and fast. Fortunately, Han had experience flying. He quickly took control of the ship to finish out Beckett's plan to honor their fallen friend. But all the commotion with Ify's Nest had caught the attention of some Imperial Viper droids. From her position on the bridge, Val noticed the droids heading toward Beckett and the rest of her crew. Beckett had just attached the last cable to the train car. She knew what she needed to do. Just as the front of the convicts started to cross the bridge, Val shot at the droids to get their attention and then detonated the explosives she had planted on the bridge. With the bridge about to blow, Chewie tried desperately to detach the coaxium car from the rest of the train so the AT hauler could carry it away, but it was nearly impossible. The Wookiee understood what was at stake. He summoned all his strength, and at the last possible second, he was able to separate the coaxium car. Han steadied the controls of the AT hauler, which now carried the heavy train car, with Beckett and Chewie below. But Ify's nest had also attached some cables, and the Cloud Riders pulled at the train car from their swoops alongside. The train car was being pulled in two different directions. But Beckett bellowed up to Han not to drop the priceless load. But they were all heading toward a huge mountain who would let go of the coaxium. Han and Chewie shared another knowing look. Han released the cables from the train car and pulled the AT hauler up and over the mountain, towing Chewie, who had grabbed Beckett and clung to one of the cables. The mountain was so close that Ify's and the Cloud Riders had no choice but to release their cables as well. The train car, full of precious coaxium, exploded against the mountainside. Beckett was furious with Han. But deep in his gut, he knew that the kid had made the right decision. Rio and Val had already sacrificed themselves for the team. Beckett had a new crew now, and together with Han and Chewie, he could plan an even bigger, better heist. The end.